Hi gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Fridays to you. In today's video, I am putting a new line of makeup sponges from L'Oreal to the test for you. These recently came out and I will be showing you how they apply product today, giving you my first impressions and thoughts, letting you know how they wash and whether or not they are worth getting. So this review is going to be for the concealer blender, foundation blender, and contour blender. Let's find out. I'll show you what each of these sponges look like and then give you my first impressions based on them coming straight out of the package. First being the foundation sponge. It's very soft. All of these sponges are damp at this point, by the way. The concealer sponge looks like that. It has a, what do you call that? Flat edge. I'm not so swift these days. Angled edge to get into tight crevices around the face. And finally, the contour sponge, which has this side supposedly for applying the product, and then you're supposed to use this side for blending it out. That will be interesting. We'll start off with foundation, and I'll zoom you in here so you can see a little closer. Woo! And for my foundation, I'm using another new L'Oreal product. This is their Infallible Total Cover Foundation, and I'm in the shade Classic Ivory. And this supposedly stays on for 24 hours, so we may have to test this one out in a future Frugal Friday. And blending in. Foundation has a mousse-like consistency texture, where it's more of a solid state. It's not liquidy or runny. It holds itself together really well when you go to apply it onto your face, which I usually like foundations like that. And the sponge is doing a beautiful job of applying it so far. How much is on the sponge? That much so far on the sponge. Not too bad. I've had sponges that have looked a lot worse. It's very soft against the skin. It was soft when I took it out of the package, and it was even softer once I ran it under the faucet. And those are the final results with the foundation sponge. And after application, that's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Next, we'll try concealer. I'm using another L'Oreal product here. This is the Visible Lift CC Concealer, and I am in the shade Fair. Cute. Has a little roller ball to apply it. And it's very cool when you apply it. It has a cooling sensation on the skin. Taking our little concealer sponge, and I'm going to take advantage of that angled design there and begin to blend this under the eyes. Oh, I like the angled design of it. It gets in nice under those tight areas, and especially into the inner corner. Yeah! And that's what the sponge looks like after the first application. It hasn't absorbed much product. I expected it to absorb much more than that. So far so good, but here's the true test. So we'll follow the directions on the box, since I tend to not usually follow directions. It says, apply a small amount of contour or highlighter onto the blender itself, and then draw lines around the cheekbones, jawline, and nose, and then blend the contour lines in circular motions. Okay, for my contour, I am going to use one of the LA Girl Pro HD concealers, and this is in the shade Medium Bisque. Go like they say. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna apply it directly onto the sponge and then apply it on my face. Okay, that's way too much, probably. So I'm gonna dab a little bit off onto a paper towel I have here on my makeup table. And here we go. Okay. I got it applied, okay. Let's turn it around here and blend it in circular motions like they tell you to. I don't know. We'll do it down the nose like they want us to do here. Problem is you can't see where you're going to apply it. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. Blend, yeah, no. Oh no, oh no. I'm making a mess of my nose here. Why would anybody think that this would be a good idea? There's only one way to fix that. We're gonna put more foundation over the top of it. Get rid of that, because that was terrible. Now the only way I could see this really working is if you went back with your foundation sponge and blended over the edges to blend it in a little bit more, but according to L'Oreal's packaging there, you shouldn't have to do that. Final thoughts. For the foundation sponge, 2 thumbs up. Really liked this one. It blended in the foundation nicely around the face. I didn't have any trouble getting in around my nose crevice areas, and it's incredibly soft to the touch, both straight out of the package and once you run it under the faucet. The concealer sponge is a little stiffer when you first take it out of the package, but the second that you get it damp, it does expand nicely and is very soft to the touch. I love the angled tip here for getting in underneath the eyes and especially the inner corner. And you can flip it around and use it to blend the product underneath the eyes a little more if that's what you needed. So 2 thumbs up for the concealer sponge also. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna recommend this one to you. Nope, it's a good idea in theory, but this is my impression of this so far. When I first took it out of the package, it was the stiffest out of all 3 of the sponges that I tested for you today. It did get a little more pliable once it was dampened underwater, but I don't like the method of application that this uses for contour. I feel like you have to guesstimate where you're going to apply the contour, which makes it incredibly difficult, especially if you're a beginner. And I feel like you'd get a much better contour if you applied it with a brush rather than a sponge. Great idea in theory, not very well executed in my opinion. And how did all these products wash after the application was complete? Foundation sponge, excellent. All the product residue came out, there were no traces left behind, and it was very easy to remove the excess product. Same with the concealer sponge. I didn't have any issues with getting the residue out of the sponge and it washed away cleanly. However, when it comes to the contour sponge, once again, gave us a little bit of trouble and would not release the concealer that I had used for the contour. And I've not really ever had a problem with that concealer staining my sponges in the past, so I'd say this is chalked up to a poorly designed sponge. Let me know what you think about each of these new L'Oreal sponges, whether you've tried them out or just based off of what you saw in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you again next week.